Archer and the Devil.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, friends and neighbours, vibrations in the name of the one true God whose name is love.
What the fuck?
To
What?
the Devil and Archer Show.
Whoa! 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 You can't just change
Yes,
the
I can.
title because you're feeling a little bit inadequate.
Yes, I'm not feeling inadequate.
Well, I mean, you wanted your name first now. What's changed? Tough week?
Just try something new.
No, I don't think I like it.
Just try something
No,
new.
I don't think. If you like it, please comment down below. But I personally think it's a load of bullshit. Don't ever do that again.
You know what it is?
You just fucking swear. Why? Just fucking threw out of left field. Oh, by the way, different podcast.
Just wanted to try something new.
What did you say to begin with?
Brothers and sisters, friends and neighbours, vibrations of the one true God whose name is love.
What the fuck's that?
Bill Hicks.
Who?
He was a comedian
Oh,
many years ago.
okay. I prefer the buffer version.
What's the buffer version?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Children of
people
all ages.
around the world.
You sound like you're about to go DX.
Welcome to
The Devil and
the
Archer Show.
podcast of 2021. The podcast that your friends will talk
You're
about
good at that.
forever. I know. I'm
You
pretty
are good at that.
I'm just not American. If I was American,
Yeah.
it'd be way
Like
better.
ring announcer wise, you
Yeah.
own it.
What's his name? Is it Michael Buffer? Is it Michael Buffer?
Is that what his name?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had no
that's
idea.
The guy that's on everything.
Right, okay.
That's him.
So he does the boxing and everything.
Yeah, that's him.
Let's get ready to rumble, guy.
Yeah, and then he goes, let's get ready to rumble. Whatever the music is, I don't know.
You were very good at that.
That was pretty good, wasn't
That
it?
was outstanding.
Pretty good. I don't know how loud it's
And
going
you,
to be. so I
apologies for
I
that.
apologise.
Episode 28 of The Devil and the Archer Show.
No, stop it. You'll confuse people. They'll be checking their phones.
That's
They've got
fair.
the wrong podcast.
Yeah, it's Archer and the Devil.
And it sounds like them, but they're calling
You know what it
something
is?
different.
Every week, the name bars come up at the bottom. It's always yours and then mine. So I just wanted to mine first this
Because
time.
that's...
I know. I made it. I named it.
Who come up with that? Was that my idea?
No, it was my idea, you absolute piece of shit.
Are you sure?
100%. I was looking at the messages and it'll be on screen now.
I don't think it was.
It was my
I think it was
idea.
my idea and you agreed with it.
It wasn't. It was my idea.
You said, I quite like Archer and the Devil. And I was like, Because my original idea was, what was it? Thoughts, feelings, concerns, question mark. That was my first.
That's what you wanted
That
as a
was my
name.
first idea of a podcast name, yeah?
That's the worst
Thoughts,
idea.
feelings, concerns. You know what I mean? That's... So you come up with an idea and
That
go,
sounds
thoughts,
like
feelings,
what
concerns.
Loose Women could have been called.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was my idea.
Archer the Devil. You just said it was my idea.
I don't think it was. I think it was my idea. I didn't particularly like it.
It was my idea.
And then you said, I quite like this idea. And I went, okay, then fuck
No,
it.
it was my idea.
I'm not sure it was.
I'm 100% sure it was. See, the fact that you're not sure, but I know it was, is why I'm right.
That just sounds to me like, because I'm not sure, you're trying to make me second
I
guess
almost
myself.
want to find the message now,
I think it's reverse psychology is what they call it.
but I'm not going to find it now. I'll wait.
This is all because we're nearly a year old.
We are very nearly 1 year
We're a
old.
couple of years old.
can
No, not a
almost-
couple of years old.
Can you
a cou-
walk at one? Actually, yeah, my niece is one, and she's running
couple of
around.
weeks away from being a big fat one.
About
or,
3 weeks.
Or 7 in dog years.
Yes.
Just saying.
Mm.
Well, 5 if you're a big dog, 7 if you're a small dog. Just, I don't know.
Are you a big dog? You know, loads of my mates
I'm a fucking big dog.
over time have called me big dog, and it's really weird.
I call everyone big dog.
I always find on my birthday, you know, when everyone gives you like on Facebook, people write happy birthday to you. It's always interesting to see what people write. So my birthday was a couple of months ago. Today, actually, it was 2 months ago today. And I remember the common theme was, hope you have pizza, hope you have lots of rum. Saying awesome a lot, because apparently I say awesome a lot. And a lot of people saying big dog or big guy and stuff like that.
I'll call everyone big dog if I don't know
I
your
don't
name.
call anyone big dog.
If I don't know your name, I'll shout it as well.
'Cause I'm the biggest dog.
Who doesn't like being called? I'll call people big dick as well.
Big dick.
Who doesn't like being called big dick? Really? Name me one person other than a female.
I call people dollface or chief or sport or champ or princess.
No, but if you're on a building site, oh, big dick, and people go, he must be talking to me because I've got a massive whacker. You know what I mean?
Massive whacker.
I mean, that's what you use the whacker.
I do like
It flattens
princess.
them.
Princess proper, like put someone in their place.
Yeah, but you can't call people princess on a building site.
I called a doorman princess once.
Doesn't go down that well, does it?
And about 2 years after, he got to kick me out of a bar. It wasn't my fault. It's a long story. But he got to kick me out of a bar. And I was a bit drunk. And I was like, mate, what the fuck? Like, you've been blah, 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 blah. And he's like, calm down, princess. And I was like,
it's the ultimate.
I hate that you got.
It's the ultimate diss,
because he remembered. He remembered from 2 years before,
and he seized the moment.
he found his opportunity. Credit to him.
It's the ultimate derogatory term, in it. And
But the fact that he threw it back at me,
you've won.
So you've used my insult.
If you get the opportunity to call someone princess,
honestly, use it.
That's a male.
You've
won. Yeah. You've won.
That's what I love when girls insult saying "suck my dick." There is no better insult for a girl to say than to suck my dick.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
But it is because, like, especially if you haven't heard it, or if guys haven't heard it, or don't surround themselves with women who use those kind of words.
If they say,
they're always like,
guy,
"Wait, what?"
what? Okay. No, it's true. I had an argument with someone, not an argument, but a disagreement recently. It wasn't even a disagreement; it was a bit of bants and a female.
Bit of bants.
And she said, there was something going on or something, and I said, well, that's just like you, that isn't it? A bit stupid or something. And her response was, yeah, well, you're more stupid. Anyway.
I think you might have been right.
And I was like, it's not the best comeback. She went, I panicked. She put me on the spot. I was like, that's your best you've got. She went, well, I'm not really a nasty person. And I thought, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you just haven't got it in you, you haven't got it in you.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
My mate insults guys by saying, "I'll suck you right off."
What? That's his insult.
I mean, he said it to his mate. He doesn't say to his, I don't think he was in a fight with a stranger.
I'll suck you right off. To be fair, I've probably said something similar.
He said on the football pitch a lot, actually. We used to play football together. He was centre back with me. And he used to always say it then to people, psych them out.
It is a what? What did you just say?
I'd always just shout, "Come at me, bro." There's one guy, whenever he used to play with his team, there's a guy on their team. And every year on his birthday now, he just, all mine, he just wants to "come at me, bro" on my wall. And I do the same back. Because if ever I saw him, if I see him in town, I'll shout it at him. Because I'm drunk and...
That's what happens.
Yeah. But that all started from playing football. And just seeing him being like, "Come at me, bro." Because it was a meme once because of fucking that Towie show you watch or something. I think someone on there said it to someone else. No, it wasn't Towie. It was the American one, Jersey Shore.
Oh, is that where it come from?
That's where it started. I think it was.
Okay.
Someone said it on there, and then it became pop culture.
Yeah, because bro's not really a British term, is it?
No, bro goes way back though.
In the UK?
No, in America.
In the States, it's
yeah, but like bro and dude and
bro is the UK mate.
but most
Really,
but most language now that we use is Americanized.
I say bro a lot now.
I say bro loads.
I say bro to girls as well.
I say bro to girls.
That really confuses them. That really does.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some friends who do say. I mean, the thing is, most of my closest friends are females, and I have no. I say rad a lot. I say rad all the time.
Say rad.
And they'll start saying rad.
Right.
I don't say anything to start off with, because I let it seep in. If they catch themselves saying it to start off with, they'll stop. So I give it 2 months, and then I'm like, you need to start saying rad all the time. They're like, fuck.
I don't say rad because I'm 37.
I'm 38, so
Maybe you should stop. That's all
maybe
I'm
I
saying.
shouldn't. Based on what?
Bro code.
Bro code.
Don't know.
That wouldn't work.
Bro.
But especially like, I think when you're in town, it's kind of like when you're, and not only that, do you ever find like the way you speak depends on who you speak to?
Oh, all the time.
Like there are some people who will use my best English with, and other people I'll just speak in shorthand.
It depends, yeah. Of course it is. Like, I mean, when I used to work, I used to fit Sky.
Yeah.
So if I was in people's houses, I would knock at the door and go, "All right, bro, I'm here to fit your dish."
So I would.
Do you know what I mean? They'd be like,
to fit your dish.
They'd be like, I'll be like, "Hello, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so." You have to, you know what I mean? I don't think either of us are at that point in our lives where we don't have to compromise.
Make enough money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where you can just say what you want to who you want, how you want.
Yeah.
And it not ever come back on you. You know what I mean? Because it's different because of your job. You work in a bar, so you can. It is what it is.
I insult people.
That's what I'm
generally
saying. They if they don't accept what you say, they don't get a drink.
But
so it's tough shit.
I insult people in a playful way. But that is what I do.
But that's
for
also
me.
a
It's
pub.
like, that's why you come in here.
It's banter. It's
Yeah, no, it
jokes.
is.
It's yeah.
Especially when I had my pub, because I had a pub for 5 years, 4 years, I think, and I used to insult everyone.
Which one was your pub?
Vertigo. It used to be.
Yeah,
it's the Boot now.
It was the Boot.
Yeah. So it was Bonds first. It was above Bonds.
That's what I thought it was. That's what I remember it being.
Yeah. So it started off being a club up there for 10 months.
Yeah.
To a year. And then because we were only open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Yeah, it was called Club Vertigo, for those who don't know. Opened 2007. And then 2008 closed and opened a bar so it could open 7 days a week.
So a pub, but then a club of a vibe of a night.
Yeah, so basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday night still ran like it ran in the club.
Yep. But you was just open during the week as a pub.
Had a chef, served food. Yeah. Function.
We was talking about Bonds the other day, weren't we?
We were, yeah. Bonds was our local.
So Bonds, for those who don't know, is a pub in Tamworth, where we're from, and it's owned by a guy his dad, who we went to school with.
Yes.
Big Jim. We went to school with his stepson, Tom.
Yeah.
He's our age, whatnot. So pretty much. I mean, realistically, what age did you start drinking? It's a different world now before anyone starts fucking moaning or whatever.
I started
We've all
drinking.
been there.
I mean, in pubs.
No. So I started, I used to live in, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I used to live in a different village. I went to school in Tamworth, but lived
In Kingsbury.
10 miles down the road. So I would effectively on Friday night, I would jump on a bus, come to Tamworth, and I would stay all weekend at my mate's house.
Yeah.
Because I went to school there, so all my friends was in Tamworth. I didn't really know anybody in the village then, because everyone grew up. We grew up separate, whatnot. So we used to end up the woods, or even just in the park. You know what I mean? Like, because
How old are we talking?
well, this is oh, excuse me. I think it was probably year 9, so
about 13,
14.
Yeah.
Because everybody has an older brother,
Yeah, I've got an older brother.
and it was Tom, whose dad owns Bonds. It was his older brother,
Jake.
used to know his older brother.
Oh, yeah.
He used to get us the beer because he lived down the road from literally next door to the shop.
Yeah.
So we'd go there. I was always a cider drinker. So I would get a big barrel, they used to call it, the big, was it 2 litres or
Pulse?
something? No, no, I didn't get no cheap shit. It was Woodpecker, right? It was the expensive cheap shit.
How much are we talking? Because Pulse was about £2.99
it was about
at the time.
a £5 for a...
That's in
for
comparison.
It's probably 2 litres. The big fat bottle
They're more
was
than
probably...
that.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think they were 3 litre.
So, and that was like a £5, £6 maybe.
Mine were £3.
But I was 14.
The last time I drank cider was 1997.
What? I love cider. That's all I drink now. If I go to a pub, I'll pretty much drink cider.
No, it was 97, and there used to be, everyone used to call it the Filth, where everyone used to go and skate in town.
Right.
It was under the bypass.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So everyone used to just skate there.
Yeah.
and
There was a
then
mini skate
drink
park there.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
though, weren't they? Yeah.
They've moved it now.
Yeah.
Which is only 50 yards away.
Yeah.
But there's an actual designated skate park now, whereas before it was just a couple of ramps. This was before the big vert ramp was there and everything else. And we used to drink there, and I drank 3 litres.
At what age?
15.
15.
If it was 97, I was about 15. Of White Lightning.
I remember White Lightning.
And I was there with, do you remember Nick Miller?
Yes.
So he was my best mate at school.
Yeah.
We had a deal. I'll look out for you, you look out for me. Nick found a girl.
Right.
There's about 40 people there.
Yeah.
Some we went to school with, some we knew, some we didn't.
Yeah.
I drank 3 litres of White Lightning. I didn't really drink at that point.
Yeah.
I'm 15. I drank a handful of times. That all came back out.
Yep.
My hair was about as long then as it is now.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit longer.
Yeah.
So I've got sick in my hair,
Classy.
sick in my lap,
Yep. Nice.
sick everywhere.
Yep.
It's about 11 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yep.
And I think I've been trying to talk to a girl beforehand. Obviously, that didn't go well because I've just thrown up all over myself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Nick, like, you know,
Bro.
clause. We've got a clause in our friendship.
Yeah. Bros before hoes.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, dude, of course, yeah.
I enjoy that sick.
So I can't blame him.
No.
I don't know how I got home,
See, that's the thing.
but I haven't drank cider
Since.
23 years. I haven't drank
Really?
cider for.
Because of that?
Because of that.
That's crazy.
The smell of cider now just reminds me of that. I've tried it. I've tried like if I've been out, especially in summer, because you tend to have a cider in summer.
Yeah.
And I'll try a bit because almost it doesn't even taste like cider, but no cider for me. No cider for me.
I love cider. I do remember going up the local woods and a couple of tents and a campfire and all that sort of stuff. Like we go camping for the night, or literally just like in a park or under the arches or just somewhere quiet away from. And then literally you just sit somewhere, drink all your alcohol, then just walk the streets.
Yeah.
That's literally what we would do.
I mean, that's still what kids do now.
Yeah, but yeah, true. But
It is what kids do
it's
now.
a different world, obviously, these days.
I mean, the benefit then was there was no mobile phones. So once you were out, you were gone because no one had a phone.
No one could get in touch with
You
you.
knew where to meet, or we used to meet in the tree outside our school. There's a big tree outside the school, so we used to meet there with the friends who lived around me.
At a certain time.
8 p.m.
Yep.
And then go meet everyone else.
I mean, we got our phones when? So I got my first mobile when
I was in college.
I think I was 16, 17. 16.
I was 7. Yeah, I was 16 or 17.
When everyone left school, that most people in the last year or towards the end when we left school had a mobile phone, so they was all swapping
That's
numbers.
when I still remember my first phone was from a shop in Birmingham. I hadn't told my parents I brought one because they were like, "You're not having one,"
Right.
Because it was a new thing then. It
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
"What
yeah.
do you want a phone for?" Blah 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 blah. Whereas now parents like have a phone. So
Yeah.
right. So it's just become a thing now.
I didn't have a phone. I had.
Mine was £80. I remember I bought it.
I can't even remember
It
what
was
my
pay as you
phone was.
go. I still remember the number. I think if I think about it.
I don't remember my first phone. I can't remember what it was. I think it was some
I think
Nokia
it
or
was
something.
07787747708 was the number of my first
Jesus
mobile phone.
Christ. I didn't have a phone when I left school. I think my uncle gave me my first phone. It was his old one because my uncle was only about probably about 5 or 6 years older than me.
Right, okay.
My mum's youngest brother. And I didn't have a phone. But do you remember them electronic organisers that you used to have? Where it was like a calculator and a keypad and it had like a little screen on.
yeah.
And I could put people's names and addresses
I had one of them.
and phone numbers in. So when we left school, I added everybody's phone number into my electronic organiser. So when I eventually got a phone, I then
transferred them over.
swapped all the numbers or entered all the numbers into my new phone.
I used to have a watch that used to have a store. It used to have a scrolling thing all the time. I used to work every Sunday at 6 a.m. with my dad. And he'd give me £1 every week for it.
Right.
Thinking about it now, I got ripped off. But he gave me £1 every week for it. This was when I remember I found out Princess Diana died because she died and everyone came out on a Sunday.
Right.
I woke up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
to go work with my dad.
Yeah.
And found out because it was all over the news.
Right, okay.
But yes, it was during that time. So I was about 15 then, maybe 14. And I brought this watch. It was only £30 Casio watch.
Yeah, yeah.
And you used to be able to write a message on top. You used to scroll.
Right.
So it was a digital watch.
Yeah.
So it had your main, honestly, I remember like wanting this watch.
Like a calculator watch or no?
Yeah, it had everything on it.
Right, okay.
And you could store phone numbers.
Yeah.
So I used to put girl phone numbers in my watch.
That's right, babes.
Yeah.
That's right, babes. Just stored it in my watch.
I thought, honestly, my first...
Some people call me James Bond, but
The
I don't
first
like
time a girl ever called me was my friend Steph. My mom was like, "You've got a phone call." I'm like, "Call." Okay, she's like, "It's a girl." What? And I was 13 years old and answered the phone. I was like, "Hello," and she was just like, "Hi, how's it going?" And we ended up talking on the phone every day for about 4 hours.
it. When did you last use a landline? I tried. My dad's got a landline. He hasn't got a mobile phone. Do you know how difficult it is? Because you can't delete a number. So if you put the number in wrong, you have to hang up and re-input the number.
Do you remember the one with the dial?
My dad had one of them
we
until
had one of
literally
those.
BT told him we're not supporting that
Oh,
phone
really?
anymore. Because if he didn't, he would still have that phone.
Yeah.
They're even worse.
They are worse, especially if it's a 9.
Oh my God. Do you know what? My mum.
Or an O, wasn't it an O at the end? Didn't it start 1?
Yeah, no was at the other end. So you'd start.
O was like a proper.
No, O was first.
1 was, so was it 09?
So Birmingham 0121 was quite easy because it was.
it was 021 then.
Oh, it was 021. My mum used to have a
021
really
now.
bad habit of spending a lot of time on the phone, like a lot of time on the phone.
No, my mom still does.
And my dad got pissed off with it, right? Because the phone bill was too big. My dad's tight as fuck. So you used to be able to get a little lock that you had a little key.
Oh, I've seen that.
So you couldn't turn the dial.
yeah.
But he put it on the wrong end. So you could still turn the dial all the way around and use it as normal. And my mum would be like, fuck you, never said anything. Still use the phone. But what was mad is my mum would ring her best friend who lived over the road.
Yeah.
And she was spending an hour on the phone.
Yeah.
Literally, she could talk to her out the front door. But no, she'd ring her for an hour.
I'd hang out with my mates all day at school, then we'd go and play, then we'd get home, and then get home and be on the phone.
It's mad.
But then, even when we had like MSN, that was still the thing. Like, and now with text, I suppose you'll hang out with someone, they still text them when you get home.
Yeah, I just remember, like, I don't really remember. I remember the transition from drinking in the park to drinking in a pub. I was 15. I'm pretty sure I was 15. And there were certain pubs in town.
Ocean Bar was mine.
that you could get away with. Ocean Bar was down Strikers, weren't it? I never went down there.
There was one doorman, he used to always ID us. So if I went in there and he wasn't working, we were laughing. And if he wasn't there, he's trying to hide from him.
Mine was, do you remember Baldrick's? This means nothing to anyone, but we were just talking
I remember
shit.
Baldrick's.
But Baldrick's used to be in town.
I used to get served in there. It's one with the
proper old school.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not a pub anymore.
No, it's
like a cafe.
It's a cafe, yeah. And then
I used to get served in there.
there was, every now and then you'd manage to get served in the jailhouse down there.
See, I always got served in jailhouse.
But I was always served because I was tall.
Same.
So I very rarely got questioned. There was also a guy at school, Mr. Dolphin. I don't know if
that's who I used to go out with.
He used to make fake IDs.
Did he?
Yeah, he made me a fake birth certificate.
You won't say his first name in case
with the wrong, obviously with the wrong date.
Make you too young.
Everything else was fine, but it was like made me older.
I think I do remember actually.
And I folded it up and used to rub it together to make it look really old and like shitty, not brand fucking new.
But do your IDs now look shitty?
But no, because everyone just uses a driving license, don't they? It has to be a specific ID.
Yeah.
Back then, it would be like, well, what else would you have other than your birth certificate?
I think I doctored my birth certificate.
So literally, it'd just be, you got any ID? And if I ever needed it, would be like, yeah, here's this fucking fake birth certificate that's been folded up 19 different times, so it's proper wrinkly and shitty, and they just go, sound, and in you go. Yeah. And that was it, and it was a different world. The thing is, there weren't many doormen then.
It was
a different world.
It was, yeah. I mean, in the 90s, especially, end of the 90s, I think I started getting served. There was a shopping phase they called Bowen's, and I used to be able to get served for alcohol in there. So when all my mates went drinking, they'd just send me into the shop.
It's same as me. Once I got to a certain age,
and I think they knew.
Being the tallest had its perks at that point.
And I was 6 foot then. I think I was 6 foot when I was 13. So from that point on, they'd be like, I had a bit of facial hair as well. So like, you go and get served. So go in there and you proper.
And worst case, it would be, you got any ID? No.
Yeah.
Can't serve you.
Yeah.
All right, and buy.
Yeah.
And that'd be it. And you just go into a different
thing
shop.
Is, I do think there were definitely people who knew, because the amount of the stuff you're buying as well. You're not buying a bottle of Jameson's and.
No, you're buying seven different versions of alcohol. Smirnoff Ice.
Right, yeah, WKD Orange.
A couple of cans of Cart.
That's why I hate Orange now, because I drank at Dolphin had a house party, and I drank, I think, 16 bottles of Orange WKD. I remember throwing it all back up. Threw up a lot back in the day.
Heartburn Central.
Alcohol. I didn't have limits. You don't know your limits at that age, so you just drink until you throw up.
Drinking is very much a...
I haven't thrown up from alcohol in about 20 years.
You have to practice drinking.
Completely.
You have to learn your limits. You have to figure out what doesn't agree with you. I'm pretty sure now, if you go back now drinking to the pub like you used to, because you were like every week, you was.
Oh, yeah. Before that,
2-3 times a week, every week in the pub, drinking a lot. Whereas I'm pretty sure now, if you went out now, you would be completely different drinking-wise. Like, a lot of people are going to be very like, what the fuck, I'm drunk already?
Yeah, no, I changed how I drank after I went travelling. When I went to Southeast Asia, I think because I'd heard so many horror stories about people getting mugged or people getting taken advantage of by locals.
Yeah.
Who will, especially like one of my friends had been maybe 3 months before me, and she said her boyfriend met some locals, went drinking with them. She left. He turned up at the hotel 2 hours after with a machete that he'd stolen off one of them, and they tried to rob him. So I was like, I'm going to be a bit careful. So I knew my limit. When I hit my limit, I'd be like, I'm going back to my hostel. If I was drinking at the hostel, I'd probably drink more because I'm already at a place. But if I was out, and I did it for that long, so I was traveling for like 6 months, it just changed my drinking habits. So when I came back, I used to get blackout drunk every weekend and was like, that's cool. Just see what happens.
See,
but I don't anymore. Like now, I hit that limit.
I used to get drunk to the point where I didn't remember what the fuck happened. Right?
Yeah.
Because I used to work for Sky. I'd drive my van to Tamworth. I would go out all night. I would go back to my van. I would sleep in my van because I was that fucking shit-faced. It didn't matter. You know what I mean? You pissed, you sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
Literally, I'd sleep in my van. I'd wake up and I'd drive home. Every weekend. Probably still drunk. Shouldn't, probably whatever. But I used to wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd be in some random fucking car park. Oh, I'm here. Let's drive home. And that would be the end of it. But it's such a bad story.
See, I'm very careful about how I tell my stories.
So the reason I stopped,
edit yourself cautiously.
The reason it's not bad. It's just really fucking cringe.
Right. Okay.
It's bad for me. The last time, there's 2 times I can remember being absolutely bladdered drunk. Once when I couldn't see, when people go, I was that pissed I couldn't see, and I've always called bullshit. Once that's happened to me, and that was in Vegas.
Right.
The only other time I've got that fucking hammered that I don't remember what happened, I used to see a girl that we used to go to school with, and she was a bank manager.
Right, yeah.
And so bad. Her company used to have a summer ball every year.
Bit fancy.
They'd rent a big country house.
Just got fancier.
And they'd have like a big marquee in the grounds, and it'd be free, everything, free drinks, free food, everything.
Yeah.
Everyone would wear tuxedos.
Just got fancier
like
still.
Proper summer ball dresses.
I'm thinking like Cinderella shit here.
All this. It was top notch, right?
Yeah.
And she was really well thought of in this company, right? So she would always sit with
the high ups. And we're talking managing directors and their wives. Yeah.
Because they would be invited once a year, they'd roll their wives, all that sort of shit.
And then you stroll in.
I was really fucking nervous, right? Because I give off this big persona and whatnot, but it was way out of my fucking depth. It's not my world.
It's not your comfort zone.
It's not my world. Yeah. So I remember she'd got on this it was like a lime, not like a lime green. It was like it's like a mint green satin dress, right? Beautiful dress. Not long, not like it was a nice dinner dress, right? Like if you go out for a nice, it wouldn't be like a clubbing dress. It was a proper nice,
it's a fancy
dress.
place, fancy
it's a ball dress,
right?
Ballroom dress, whatever. But it was satin, right? And I remember they booked us hotels, everything. So we got this in the hotel. I started drinking in the hotel. I've always been a bad drinker.
You're not a big drinker.
I can't drink.
You're not a big drinker.
I know I have a drink on the podcast, but that will literally be it for a week.
Yeah.
That will be it.
Mostly at the minute, same.
I've never been a good drinker.
Yeah.
Considering I'm 6'4",
I'm a great drinker.
I'm a terrible drinker. And that's never changed.
Yeah.
So I started drinking at the hotel. We had a couple of drinks, whatever. She used to be a good drinker. She could drink a shit ton. Ultimately, she ended up on dialysis, which probably didn't help. But she had a kidney transplant and all sorts. But she's okay now.
She is okay now.
We got on this coach. They booked a coach. We all got on the coach. It was probably a 20-minute drive to this country mansion, middle of Derby it was.
How old are you at the time?
26, 25, 26. We wasn't together long. Not because of this. I mean, it might have been. I don't know. But we ended up getting to this summer ball. You walk in and there's, do you want a drink, sir? Would you like a drink, sir? Canapes, all that stuff. It's all included, all free, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Free bar and champagne. You sit down, free bottles on the table, help yourself. More wine comes up. Literally all night. Just wine, drinks, wine, drinks, wine. I got more drunk. As we all know, the more drunk we get, the more animated we get.
Right.
I knocked a drink over and it landed in her lap on a mint green satin dress. Oh shit. There's all white wine in her lap. It's okay, she says. She gets up. When they go, it's okay. Deep breaths. Off she went to the toilet with a friend. Because we was in the middle of basically a field, there was no heaters in the hand dryers in the toilets. It's just paper towels. In effectively a portaloo, but like a posh portaloo, like a cabin toilet thing. So I've kind of looked through the door and then they're dabbing this dress trying to get all this.
At least it was white wine, not red.
White wine out. So I've gone, I know I'll fix this. More drinks. So I've gone to the bar. Vodka lemonade, vodka Red Bull, whatever the fuck it was. Bang, another one, bang. I've had 3 straight double vodkas in the time that they've been waiting. But as we all know, it doesn't kick in straight away, does it? It takes a little while.
Takes a minute.
So we've sat back down with the MD of this building society and his wife. She's really out of her comfort zone as well. So me and her are just getting wasted, talking shit, swearing, all sorts. She's like, whatever, okay, it's fine. But anyway, I've done it again, right? Knocked another drink over on her.
Oh, same person, same human.
Your my
partner.
girlfriend, right? At the time, my girlfriend, I've dropped another drink in her lap.
Was it another white wine?
I can't remember. Okay. I was fucking arsehole at this point.
Yeah.
But Same thing's happened. I've knocked another drink over. Thankfully, it was just her and no one else. You know what I mean? At least if it's happening, it's her. Anyway, we sat down. I've stopped drinking at this point, right?
Probably a smart choice.
But now all the alcohol starts to kick in because I've had a shit ton of it, right? For whatever reason, on the table, there was like these fish bowls with pebbles and I want to say fairy lights, but I would imagine there was candles.
Like a centerpiece.
Like a decoration on the table,
Right.
For whatever reason, I've decided I'm taking one home, right? Because that's what everyone needs. A free fish bowl with pebbles in the bottom.
It's what I've always wanted.
For some reason, I also managed to get the box for it. So I don't know. So now I'm walking out with the fish bowl under my arm.
And the box.
In the box.
That it came in.
With the pebbles in. Right. So it's now the end of the night. We're in a marquee in the middle of nowhere. I'm now pissing up the wall of this fucking ancient castle because we're all getting on this coach. Stop fucking pissing up the wall, get on coach, she says. Okay. So I've had a piss. Got on the coach. It's quite warm on this coach because it's now 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So they've got the heating cranked up. I'm shit-faced. So we do what we all do and we lean back and we shut our eyes.
I know where this is going.
What happens when you lean back and shut your eyes?
Everything starts spinning.
Everything starts spinning.
I know where this is going.
Just sit forward. Open your eyes. I'll be fine. I'll be fine, he says, leaning back. We'll start spinning. I feel a bit sick. I'm on a coach.
You didn't.
What's the best thing to do? Now, ideally, the best thing to do would be lift the lid of this cardboard box and be sick in the fish bowl. No. What I did was gave her the box and the fish bowl, moved the curtain that was covering the window and threw up next to me down the side on the floor.
That's not as bad as what I thought you were going to say.
On the floor of this coach that's not moving, by the way. We're all still sitting there waiting for
You
it.
haven't left yet.
No, just waiting for the coach to fill up. Because the best thing for Jake when he's drunk is to get him on the coach quick so no one fucking sees him. We're literally at the back of we're like 2 rows from the back. We're the first on the coach. I've moved this fucking curtain down the side of me. Took the bowl back because she's not having my bowl. It's my fucking bowl that I could have quite easily been sick in because, you know,
Logic suggests
it's a cylindrical item that
hollow and
holds liquid.
Yep.
So then I've just played dumb like nobody's noticed. I've just roused up a 3-course meal and probably 3 bottles of wine on the coach floor that's most likely all up my legs because we're in a coach. So then everyone starts going, she's like, I know. I can smell it. I'm like, oh, shit. They know. So now I'm hiding behind the curtain like all sheepish. Like, fuck. She knows. I swear to God, I've never had a longer drive home than this in my life. It was probably a 30, 35-minute drive, but I swear to God, that fucker was 3 hours long. The sat-nav mileage didn't fucking move for 25 minutes. I swear to God,
I'm not going to lie, though.
15 miles for fucking 45 minutes.
Having knocked 2 drinks on it, I honestly thought the story was going to say I threw up on the dress.
That would have made it. It literally was the fucking worst night drink-wise. I felt so fucking bad. But she took it all in a stride. I don't even remember like being mad at me. I genuinely don't remember being angry at me. She just held her breath, picked her chin up, and dealt with what needed to be dealt with.
I've never been that level.
The next time I was worse...
I probably have. There's probably people listening now going, you're a fucking liar.
The next time was that, and that was what, when I was 25, right? Yeah. So probably the next time worse than that was in Vegas, when we done our road trip to Vegas. Everybody decided, because me and my mate was the organiser, it was our last night, we was in a bar called Blondie's, and it's in one of the casinos, and it's a sports bar. It's a bar in the hotel. So like you go around the mall. I can't remember what hotel it's in. I think it might be Planet Hollywood or Caesars or somewhere. But you walk through all the shops, and it's a bar within the shops, and it's a sports bar. They've got beer pong tables in there, and so you walk in from Caesars Palace into this proper American sports bar. Screens up, it's cool as fuck. And we all decided that this was where the drunkenness was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they serve cocktails and beer. Now, I prefer a cocktail. I'm drinking gin, you're drinking bud, right? I love a cocktail. They serve woo-woo, right, in there, by the fucking jugful, and it's like $6.
Yeah.
And if you buy a wristband for like $30, it's unlimited drinks.
For free?
All night.
Okay, cool.
Unlimited cocktails or beer, depending on which one you buy. So people was literally buying a wristband and just getting jug after fucking jug after jug. We was playing woo-woo beer pong. So if it landed in the fucking thing, you was downing woo-woo, right? Then we got that arsehole, it turned into Bear Grylls beer pong.
Yeah.
The beer pong table was level with the toilets. So if the toilet door was open and your ball bounced into the toilet, you got the ball, you didn't wash the ball, you took your shot, right? It was hardcore beer pong.
White people are weird.
So you could have pubes and piss and woo-woo, anything, because it was just taking too fucking long to keep washing the ball. It's like, fuck it, just keep throwing it. We was arseholed. I got that.
That's disgusting.
I got that drunk, right? I was with Adam.
Or some disease.
I was with Beardy Adam and a different girlfriend at the time, right? This is probably...
I'm never going drinking with
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
That's
possibly.
not long ago enough to justify
I
that
remember
story.
Adam said, because Vegas doesn't seem that big, does it?
No,
you go, it's only next door.
Yeah.
That could be a 45-minute walk, right? We were staying at one end of the street. We was about halfway down. Adam had drove, because Adam doesn't really drink. So he said, I'll go and get the car, and I'll drive you back. Cool. Forgetting how fucking big casinos are and how big their car parks are.
Yeah.
There's like 10 floors of car park that's fucking
and most
huge.
of them are the same kind of car.
We had a convertible Mustang.
Which is that car.
Which is a rental car.
Yeah, which is what most of the cars there are.
Along with the 700 other cars that look exactly the same.
On that floor.
You don't pay attention to your number plate. You just press the button. If your car unlocks, it's your car. End of story. I remember sitting in the car park with my girlfriend at the time, leaning up against, sat on the floor, leaning up against somebody's car, and I swear to God, I couldn't see, right? I couldn't focus on anything. It was just blurred as fuck. I was that shit-faced. I didn't buy one drink all night. I remember that. Everybody else got me arsehole, so it's everyone else's fault, right?
Okay.
I remember
I'll buy that.
Sitting on the floor against the car, someone else's car, because Adam couldn't find the car, right? So he's walking now,
just pressing the button.
Just pressing the button, waiting for it to beep the horn. He's walking. We must have been there 45 minutes, and it's fucking... There's no air conditioning in the car parks. It's Vegas. It's red hot. I remember sitting there with the girlfriend at the time, and I thought to myself, we could get mugged here. We could get stabbed or shot. It's America.
I think you told this story.
Could be dangerous. I put my arm in front of her and said, I can't really see, but I need to protect you. So if I put my arm, I can feel you. If I can feel where you are, I can protect you if we get mugged. Couldn't see shit, but in my head,
you were doing the...
I knew where she was, and if I know where she is, I can protect her.
Great boyfriend.
I didn't wake up the next day. I lost a full day.
Is that where the bathtub photo came from?
No, that was a whole different story.
Oh, okay then.
We've told that story.
Oh, you told that story, yeah.
That was a stag do.
Yeah.
I don't remember the next day. I was the organiser of a road trip that 25 people was on. We'd organised passes for SEMA, the biggest car show in the world, the next day for everybody to get in. I had the passes. Me and the other organiser, who was also just as drunk as me, had all the passes in our rooms. I woke up to approximately 45 text messages and about 80 missed calls.
At what time?
About 7 o'clock the next day.
Morning or PM?
PM. So I'd gone to bed. I did, mate. The worst of it is I was at home and in bed for 11 o'clock. The previous day. I didn't even make it past midnight. I was that shit-faced. We left before midnight.
How do you stay in bed for...
I nearly slept 24 hours. Because that's how drunk I was. I literally woke up to text messages going, well, the day's writ off. Are you coming for dinner? Because it was 7 o'clock at night. That's the last time I drunk that much. And that was probably 6 years ago.
See, I've never
drunk that much. I've never been that drunk before, and I've never been that drunk since. That was the worst.
Again, when I was younger especially, I didn't know my limits at all. And not only that, I didn't know my drink.
You don't know what.
You know what I mean? So you try in bits of everything.
I can't do shots now.
Oh, I can still do shots. I can do anything.
If somebody puts a shot in front of me, I immediately start.
I don't do cider. I don't do gin. There's more I don't drink than I do drink. But I know what I like. I like whiskey. I like rum. Rum is my drink. And I like beer. Generally, if I stay within those parameters, sometimes vodka, then I'm all right. But back then, I didn't know what I drank. So I tried everything.
I couldn't do it.
To try and find my drink.
I couldn't. Even back then, I've always been a shit drinker.
No,
Like, always.
I'm a good drunk. I just want to dance and fuck. That's all I want to do when I'm drunk.
There's a shot in the gym bar in Tamworth that's like 80%. I don't know what it's called.
Is it absinthe or?
No, it's not absinthe. It's something else. But we call it the birthday shot.
I haven't been in the gym bar.
So if it's your birthday, you have to have this shot. They can only serve you 2.
No, see, I mean, the thing is
but it took me 4 hours to work myself up. They bought it for me and it sat on the table for 4 hours.
The age I am now, I don't care about getting smashed anymore. I used to in my 20s, early 30s, mid 30s. Last week. No, my ambition was always I want to go out and get smashed. That was what you go out for. I want to go out. I want to get smashed. Now, like when I drink here, because I'm talking, I don't really drink as much. That's what I'm like when I go out. So I want to get to that level of drunk. And I always say to people who I'm out with who can't handle their drink, just like your aim is to be drunk. So get there and ride the wave.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
what I kind of do. I'll get to pretty much midnight and then stop drinking.
Right. Don't keep building upon it.
No, because the 4 hours before that have got me drunk enough.
So why would you keep... Like, the aim isn't just to keep drinking.
No.
Like, you wouldn't sit at home just constantly going to the tap, getting water or whatever. You know what I mean? Just constantly
it's weird, that. I've always thought that with alcohol.
Like, there's no other circumstance where you constantly have a drink in front of you.
Like, you don't... If you're just drinking Coca-Cola, you don't drink one glass...
And then go and get another one.
And then going immediately.
Right.
And then go and get another one. Immediately. And go and get another one and go, oh, fucking hell, I'll polish that bottle
But with beer or with alcohol...
But if it's got rum in the Coke, you'll do the whole bottle.
100%.
It's such a weird conception.
It is a weird thing. But the aim is to get drunk. It's like eating. You eat till you get full.
Yeah.
You don't eat before, then go, I've got to keep going.
I need more.
So alcohol's the same. Understand your limit.
But is it the alcohol that's telling you to drink more? No, because you don't realise.
No, it's because you haven't got a plan.
True.
It's a lack of a plan. Because if you know I'm going to get drunk and I'm going to stop, and it does take practice. It takes making it habitual, and then you'll stop. But I always get to the point, and after that I'll buy a bottle of Bud, and I'll carry it around with me because no one's going to say, like, are you drinking? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
The same bottle you had 2 hours ago.
I'll get to the point when I'll have just a lemonade rather than a vodka lemonade. Because you have some ice,
aesthetically,
lemonade.
it looks the same.
Do you want to drink now? I'm all right, thanks, mate. Yeah. And you're good. But I don't like, and this might be a personality thing of whatever, but I don't like not being in control.
Yeah,
That's why I've never done drugs.
I don't.
I've never done drugs because I don't like the feeling of not being in control.
I know I have, like, vocally said to myself when I've been that drunk. I always talk to myself on the way home.
Same.
I talk to the stars, actually.
I talk to myself.
I have full conversations with the stars.
Why the fuck have you drank this much?
No, I don't. I have, what does it all mean? Conversation.
Right, okay.
Either that or I'm going to die alone conversations.
Right, okay.
Depends on what kind of drunk I am.
Yeah.
When I get to I'm going to die alone drunk, I apologise to anyone who's ever out with me. Honestly, it's the living worst. I remember about 4 years ago. No, it was 6 years ago now. 2021. 2015, I was drunk every day pretty much.
Okay.
The whole year was kind of a write-off.
Yeah.
It was the first time I went travelling. I went travelling around, I backpacked around Europe for a few months. But most of that year, I was drunk and, for lack of a better word, a bit promiscuous.
Okay, yep.
That was that year.
Say no more, yeah.
That was 2015. Yep. And that was, by the end of it, was my most I'm going to die alone.
Was that just because you were burnt out? You just had way too much fun. Like, it can't get any worse. It can't get any better, so it's only going to get worse.
And not only that, but I think it was... But there's been people, and none of them have been the people I'm going to settle down with, because obviously I haven't settled down with them. It hasn't gone anywhere. So what if there's just no right person? I'm going to die alone. Then I went to a wedding, I remember on... it was the day before Valentine's Day, or it was on Valentine's Day in 2016. That was my breakdown moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm going to die alone.
Yeah.
And then I got over it. And then I was fine after that. I had another one last year, actually.
Right.
I think around February or something, I'm going to die alone. And then I got over it. I was all right.
Then we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Saved your life.
Literally. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. No, yeah. But it happens. It does. I mean, again, when I'm drunk, if I'm happy, when I'm drunk, I'm super happy. If I'm a bit bummed out, when I get drunk, I either go happy or just get more bummed out. It kind of accentuates wherever you are already.
See,
mentally.
I've never been a sad drinker. I've never been... Like, if I'm a bit sad or depressed, I don't go, I need a drink.
I'll actively not drink.
Yeah, no, mine's always been a...
Because it's depressing. I'm just like...
mine's always been a relax, just a chill. Drink has always been a Saturday night or a... You know what I mean? Like, I don't really drink on a Monday night or whatever. Like,
I'm a social drinker. I used to kind of like go and watch football a lot. We used to watch Champions League every Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'd go out and have a couple of beers with my mates in the sports bar because we were watching football. So it's always been like that. Like, I don't drink at home generally. Like, I probably have done in the last year just because of lockdowns.
See, I don't really go to pubs. I've never really been as I've got older.
It's hard getting you in a pub.
I've
tried many a time.
I think that's more down to previous relationships.
The last time we went out for a drink was about the week after we started a podcast.
For the fight? Was that the one?
No. That was before the podcast.
Oh, when me, you and Rob went out?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you
came to team bonding.
You came to one pub with me, the old man pub as you call it.
Yeah, I don't like that pub.
It's my local now. And then disappeared. Didn't see you again for the rest of the night.
Yeah, because I went to the cool pub with the cool kids.
No one. Yeah, but we're not cool kids anymore.
Where they play Five and fucking Bewitched.
We're the old people now.
Yeah, because it's like...
That's the thing with Bonds. So we started off talking about Bonds. Bonds was the pub back in the day that you would go in and you knew everyone.
Yes.
You didn't arrange to meet there.
No.
You just went. It was like Bonds at 8 o'clock. That was
you knew if you went into that pub, you would meet someone.
If you went to the bar,
your friends.
And the thing is, you can go and meet one. You can go by yourself.
Yeah.
I never made plans to meet anyone.
No.
And everyone used to always have a go, oh, you're always out. Well, just come out. We're at Bonds at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know where we're going to be. You've seen photos or whatever. Just fucking turn up. I've got pictures of me and you from when I bumped into you one night out and you were doing duck mouth.
Oh, yeah, all sorts.
Yeah.
But we did...
State of you.
We pretty much was drinking in Bonds from...
2000 and...
I don't think we ever went in there underage because out of respect for Tom. Because we knew that...
Mine wasn't that at all. Mine was just I used to work and drink at jailhouse.
Oh, okay.
I started working at jailhouse. I started drinking at jailhouse when I was 16. Last day of school was the first time I went in there.
Right.
We all get drunk at the weir.
I got drunk on the castle grounds on the last day of school and then ended up at some random kid's house who I never really spoke to all the time we was in school.
Who?
I can't remember his name. Some ginger kid. Don't know.
I don't remember ginger kids at our school.
I know where he lives. He's got a copper roof.
I know where he lives.
He's got a copper roof and it's now gone green. I know that. Oh, boy, there's like 2 doors down from the school.
This was 20 years ago.
And I remember getting I want to say a lift home with my mate's brother because I was shit-faced at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because we was drinking at his house. I got drunk on the castle grounds. I got drunk at his house. I got a lift home. I was sick down the side of their car on the way home. And then the next day,
apologise for the sick in this episode.
To clean the car
of the Devil in Our Show.
I had to clean the car the next day because she didn't want to clean the sick off down the side of it.
I mean, I get that.
But I remember drinking in Bonds pretty much every weekend from 18.
Yeah, no idea. Well, to be fair, I drank at Jailhouse until Jailhouse because it used to be a rock bar. And I was a DJ there when I was 17. I started DJing there. And then they got rid of rock music. So everyone went to Bonds. And
Bonds used to be...
And that was before 24-hour drinking came in.
And it was, and it was always cool music. It wasn't...
It was indie.
One end of the bar was music. The other end of the bar wasn't music. So depending on what you wanted, you could always... And it was his own pub. It was an independent pub. And he always used to be the only pub in town that would keep up with the main
That wasn't
chain.
him. So there was the bar manager was called Carolyn.
Yeah, but it was the only pub that would,
I'm not saying
that
about
would be
that, but
busy from opening time to closing time.
I think what it was, she was very much into the music, like it was the Strokes and that kind of stuff at the time.
I remember Carolyn.
Yeah,
now you've mentioned it.
Yeah.
Skinny little girl.
Yeah. She was bar manager, and he basically said, "You run it."
Yeah.
I think she was a year older than us. She was a year above us.
Yeah, I remember that now you've mentioned that.
And everything that Bonds was, and still is now, is on the back of her.
So is she or Jim responsible for all the hot barmaids that work there?
I think that was Jim.
Because anybody that knows Bonds knows that.
Back in the day.
You couldn't work in Bonds unless you was a hot girl.
That was the rule.
It was as simple as that. It was basically, it's my pub, my fucking rules.
Yeah.
And if you was hot, you worked in Bonds. There was no lads And if you was a lad that worked there, you was a glass collector.
Hamish worked there for a while.
That was it.
But that was it. Yeah.
You was a glass collector. End of story.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you was hot.
I'm trying to think how many of the barmaids you've been in relationships with.
There was no male barman. There was no barmen. There was all barmaids. It didn't matter if it was a Tuesday afternoon or a Saturday night. You was a hot girl that worked
There's
there.
definitely been 3 that have been girlfriends.
Of yours?
Yeah. I think there's a few others that I've hung out with. But even now, with best, so I think about 7 of my mates now I met
through bonds.
Them working.
Yeah, exactly. They either worked there or you met them there or they ended up working there.
I met Lombardi working there, who's my best mate.
Did she work there?
Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah. 2 of my friends, Lucy. One of them, Kapitanovic, she was a glass collector there.
Yes, I remember Lucy working there, yeah.
So I'm still friends with her now, I go rock climbing with her.
Yeah.
My other friend, Lucy, I met, she was a barmaid in Bottom Bar.
Right.
My friend Monica, I met working there. Honestly, all of my friends I met because they worked at that bar.
But we're saying, and everyone might be going, oh, fucking so sick, blah, blah, blah. You've got to remember, this is a time where topless barmaids was also a thing.
That was in the bar I used to work in.
So in the bar that you worked in,
jailhouse,
on a Sunday afternoon,
at 5 p.m,
you could go in, get your Sunday dinner, with
look
tits.
Some tits.
With tits.
The first time I went in there, I was about 17 years old, and I used to DJ on Sunday nights. That's how I started drinking there. The DJs on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. So the guy who owned it called Mike. I was like, Mike, let me DJ. He's like, when? I was like, Sundays. He's like, cool, you start next week. Sweet, okay, that was easy. So I went in the first week, shit myself, and wrote out the whole.
How old was you?
17.
17, yeah.
So I wrote out my full 3, 4, 5 hour playlist or whatever I'm going to play. I've got like all my CDs because it was not like the fucking 90s.
No, you didn't have a laptop with all the music on. No.
If I did, there'd be nowhere to plug it in anyway. So I had all my CDs and stuff like that, and went in there. And topless barmaids behind the bar. And I was like, I'd never been there on a Sunday before.
And you was
at that time
because you was 17,
right? And I just remember looking everywhere but her boobs. So I've never made such direct eye contact in my entire life. I was so nervous.
If somebody opened now and went, do you know what? Sunday afternoons from now on, topless barmaids.
But after that,
fucking be burnt down to the ground.
After about a year of working there, I used to start working. I started working in the bar, and I became bar manager. So I used to start working on Sunday at 5 p.m. No, they used to finish at 5 p.m. No. Yeah, they used to
it was
finish
like a
at 5.
Sunday afternoon, evening kind of thing.
That was they used to finish. I used to start at 5, so I'd go in at 5 o'clock. With just boobs everywhere, and be like, "I'm here to relieve you."
Okay,
not in that way.
Yeah,
they weren't the hottest of.
No, but there was boobs.
There were boobs,
bare boobs.
There were boobs.
In a pub that anyone could walk into.
It was funny as well though, because like you'd have all the men would be populating the bar area.
Yes, yeah.
And then me and a dude called Andy used to start work at 5 o'clock, and all the men would step back. And all of their wives and girlfriends would step forward.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We weren't topless.
No.
We were just in the bar.
No.
But all of a sudden it was like, well, you know what? I've been watching you leer over her boobs, so I'm going to flirt with this guy.
It's a tough time these days.
I got hit on a lot working at that bar.
It's a tough time. It's just tough.
I still remember my first shift working. The girl was called Faye, and she was serving someone over there, and she was like, it's like a Worthington's or something. I've let it settle, just top it up and go over. I've taken the money already. I'm not called okay. So letting it settle, serving someone else, finish it off, take it over to him. His face was so disappointed. He was like, "Oh, where are the boobs gone?"
She started it and you finished it.
Yeah, I finished it. He was like, "Oh, I preferred it when boobs were here."
It is a tough time. I moved out of home when I was from my mum's house when I was 25. She said to me, "You've got to, you're 25, then you've got to move out."
I moved out at 18.
25, I got to. And I literally moved in with the girl that I spilled the drinks all over, and we bought a house. So that's, otherwise I'd probably still fucking be there. But that got me out of the house. But it was an easier time then, when it. But
it was easier because you were younger.
It literally was.
It wasn't the time. It was just, and then that's what with nostalgia when people watch films. That's why so many remakes happen.
Yeah,
because people who are our age now are execs.
Yeah,
that's why Cobra Kai's the thing.
Yes, yeah.
Because people grew up watching it.
Do you remember that film?
I fucking love that.
Yeah, that never finished properly, did it? Let's do a series.
The problem with it is, though, is the whole thing is you're trying to make yourself feel like you felt when you watched it, which is never going to happen because you're different now.
No.
So I think that's why nostalgia and stuff like that, because I do it. I get super nostalgic for the 90s, but the 90s, how I remember it, with a 2021 filter, isn't the same as the 90s actually were.
I know, it's a different, like, I've been watching Friends recently, and even that, some of that hasn't,
It hasn't aged
days, aged
well.
well.
No, it hasn't aged well.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I find it's difficult, because you're so much more, and it's not a bad thing.
No,
but
it shows progression.
We're so much more aware of things that may be offensive or that may be an issue that you didn't, that perhaps was an issue then, but it wasn't as.
But do you think?
No, there was an issue then, should I say?
Well,
but
no, it was.
But it was a lot more. It was a lot less talked about.
It wasn't that it was less talked about. It was just the platforms weren't there to make them so vocal.
So less people was aware.
Yeah, like without Facebook being a thing.
So unless
Twitter
it
being a
directly
thing.
affected you, you didn't necessarily know
Think
about
of it like
it.
this: if Friends was on and someone said something homophobic on there, for example, right?
Yeah.
Then the most you'll see is an article in a newspaper or a magazine about it.
Or your mate mentioning it.
Whereas now,
Immediately,
30 seconds after,
it's everywhere.
all over Twitter, all over Facebook.
Yeah.
So I think that's why these things get more spoken about now, is because it started off when social networking was a thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Before it was social media, and no one really knew what to do with it.
No.
And people just shared cat videos and learned to write in HTML and have music playing on their profiles. Whereas now it's got to a point where everyone feels like, well, I've got a platform I can speak on. Well, you haven't. Because Trump's proven that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they can just go, no, you're a dickhead. You're not talking anymore here. But the problem is, I think people feel validated. And not only that, but there is so much entitlement that people have. And I think that's why we know more of these things. And I don't think that, like, could a show like Friends Be Made now? Absolutely you could. 100% it could. Along with all those other kinds of shows where it did have those things in. It's whether you're going to listen to people and give a fuck. And if you are, if you're going to have a TV show that comes out and go...
Oh, there's still really bad fucking shit
Yeah,
that's made that everyone goes, oh, fuck it now, like... You know what I mean? Like, depending on what it is. Like, I just watched Power and there's so much in that. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I think the posts move a little bit because now you have to incorporate cancel culture and the internet.
Yeah, it not necessarily it's easier. It's different. So when people go, oh, it's a different world back then. It was different, but that doesn't mean it's better or worse. It was just literally that. It was literally different.
But the thing is, I mean, even that world was 20, 30, 40. I mean, how old was TV? You know what I mean? Like 50s, maybe people started having TVs at home, like one family set, compared to now where you've got it on your fucking phone.
Yeah.
You have a TV with you constantly.
All the time.
And I think people get too het up about... Het up a thing? Is that a word? Did I make that up? Het up's a thing, right?
Yeah.
About menial... bullshit. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're offended, just be offended. That's cool. You're allowed to be offended by something and just carry on with your day. Because if you look at the history of our species and how things have been difficult in the past, like, what was the average day of a person 100 years ago?
In what sense?
Well, there wasn't books, and there were books. There wasn't TV. There wasn't record
it was
players.
Just work, weren't it? Work, home life,
but
family.
There was still, like, if you wanted to listen
stuff.
to music 100 years ago, you had to make music or pay someone to perform for you. You know what I mean? If you wanted to see a play, you had to go to a theatre or act it out. And the problem is now it's just disposable. There's so many TV shows.
What isn't it like they say? If you don't impress, same with our podcast, I guess. If you don't impress somebody within the first 5 to 10 seconds of whatever you do.
Oh, they'll skip and go on to the next thing. Yeah.
On to the next one.
Yeah,
10 seconds is now our attention span.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
If it's even that.
Look at Instagram. That's one thing where a lot of, and I get it, people get upset because their partners like the picture of...
What a story's 15 seconds
I think
on
so.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your
That's
limit.
the maximum of it, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about when people like someone's like, you liked that girl's picture.
Yeah.
Or you like that guy's
How
picture.
long have you actually spent looking at it?
You literally double tap it. Oh, cool, that's nice hair. Oh, cool, that's a nice outfit. Oh, that's a nice
Bang.
mountain.
That's
oh, that's
it.
good call.
Seconds.
That's all it is.
And you probably never even, if someone mentioned, and they immediately go, well, you've liked what fucking picture?
Yeah.
Because you've liked 50 other pictures.
I actively, if I'm with someone, I don't like any pictures of girls.
Just
out of respect.
It's just easier.
It's just easier.
It's just not respect. It's
No,
just easier.
it's respect as well, because it's learning from your mistakes. I've had that argument once. Let's never have it again.
Yeah, true.
Just don't like a picture of a girl if you're with, unless it's a friend. But even then, it's just...
See, my issue was producer Rob, off of the podcast, used to be a photographer, and he used to do a lot of burlesque and all that sort of photography.
So you'd like it in support of him?
Because I used to like photos because it's a good picture.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of photographer friends from my racing and all that sort of stuff. So I've kind of got an idea of what is and isn't a good picture.
Yeah.
And if it's a good picture, whether it's tits or a car, I would like it for the support of the art. as opposed to the content of the picture.
That's fair.
Doesn't always fly that well with the other sex.
But I do get why people get insecure about those kinds of things nowadays, because you're so judged on how you look and how you portray yourself on Instagram. If all of a sudden someone's getting 1,000 likes on their picture and you've got 7, and you're one of the people, your boyfriend's liking it. You know what I mean? I get why people get insecure about that kind of shit. Don't. But I get why it does happen.
It's getting worse as well. It
is getting worse.
But that's another conversation.
I need to tell very quickly my surname story.
Oh, okay.
So I did a podcast on a friend of mine called Mike's podcast, which is called MixTapes With Mike. I'll give a proper plug to it once it's out. But he basically gets people on. He's a comedian, stand-up comedian. He used to do music and stuff like that. And he plays 10 songs that you choose. And he messaged me the other day saying, can you send me a voice note with how to pronounce your surname?
Right.
Because I don't know how to pronounce it. And I was like, I've known
He doesn't.
No.
Right.
Been friends with him for 20 years.
Yeah.
But cool. Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike. So I sent him a voice note and told him how to say it. And then I wrote it as well phonetically. But I was like, I know how I spell it phonetically, but I don't know how the correct phonetic spelling is. So I Googled my surname.
Sorry. Carry on. Yeah.
And the phonetic spelling that came up is not how I've been saying my name for 38 years.
You've been saying your own name wrong?
For 38 years.
Okay.
So it's not too far off.
Right.
But I've been saying my name wrong my entire life.
Okay.
So for nearly 4 decades. I spoke to my dad a bit later and said, Dad, how do you say our name?
Yeah.
And he said it.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you actually say it? And he went, what? And I was like, what's the correct pronunciation? He was, oh, and just said the phonetic way I read it. And I was like, so why don't we say it like that? And basically they've anglicised it.
Okay.
So he's like, if you say it in Indian, it's the original way. If you say it in English.
Yeah.
So that's why you've been saying it wrong.
So what difference is it?
So my surname is Randauer.
Yeah.
That's how I say it. It's Randhawa.
Yeah.
So I say Randauer.
Yeah.
That's my surname. But it's Rundavar.
What? What? It's completely different.
It's Rundava, I guess. But yeah, it's like a U instead of an A, and then a V instead of a W. It's longer. There's more A's in there phonetically. It's just really weird. So I was just like mind blown. I was like, it's weird that
you've been saying it wrong, and you had no idea that you were saying it wrong.
And it's because of we live in a white country, so you say it the white way. It's anglicised. That's all it is.
That's crazy.
But then my dad was telling me about my surname, which is where it comes into topical for the conversation we had in last week's podcast. Randau was started off as a clan in the 6th century in northern India.
Right.
So Randauer literally means Ran means attack.
Okay.
And Dawa battle. Ran means battle. Hour means attack.
Okay.
So it means battle attack.
Okay.
So I always knew it meant warrior. That's what my mom told me when I was younger.
Right.
But it literally means battle attack.
Yeah.
And they were, in the 6th century, a clan. So I would have been Sonny of the Randauer clan.
Yes.
And they were the sandbags.
Really?
They were the first ones
infantry.
in. They were the first ones in.
First ones over the wall.
But I mean, there wasn't really infantry because it was spears and swords and bows and arrows.
You was the first ones, charge.
It was 500
You was up there.
AD. But yeah, but they must have done well because there's loads of us. There's loads of Randauers in the world.
So you was the sandbags?
It's a really common surname.
You was the meat suits?
We were the meat suits.
No
we were the
way.
sandbags, yeah. So we were the first ones in. But again, we must have done well because there are so many of us. So
you was either the bravest
or the stupidest.
or the stupidest.
Or the stupidest. Yeah, so my surname is 1,500 years old from northern India.
And you've just learned how to pronounce it right?
Yeah, so basically we're like we are. The worst part is we are essentially like Dothrakis. Comes full circle. That's essentially where I come from. But the weirdest part was I then Googled what my mom's surname is, which I'm not going to say because it's on your passwords.
Yeah.
Maiden name.
Okay.
But her name is 140 years old.
Okay.
And it's Scottish.
Oh, okay.
So my dad is old school Indian,
Yeah.
1,500 years old.
And your mum's fairly new Scottish?
Apparently.
Fuck.
Someone's been lying to me. But yeah.
You know, maybe you should do your family tree and see where your history comes
It's
from.
really hard because everyone's dead. Well, obviously. Yeah, but everyone died young.
They do your DNA? Mind you, I suppose if there's no DNA,
I thought about doing that, but I don't want to get cloned.
Oh, God. That's another conversation for another podcast.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, that has come to the end abruptly, but
It has.
that's us.
To the Devil and Archer show.
We will see you next time
Peace and
on
love.
the Archer and the Devil podcast.
Go lick everybody.
Peace out. See you next time.
Bye.